Hey, my lovelies, it's Mitch here. I'm just coming on to do this year's 2025 Tarot Scope guidance reading for the whole year ahead. Now, this may well be a reading that you have to kind of come back to sort of periodically over the course of 2025, but hopefully its messages will help, they'll resonate, and they'll just see a little bit of what the collective energy is like for us. Now, I always sort of decide what deck I want to work with at the start of the year, and this is usually a deck that I will then use for the monthly breakdown readings as well over each month. And I feel very, very drawn at the moment to work with the Cosy Witch Tarot, which is by Amanda Lovelace. Don't know if you can see this one there. And it just says at the bottom there that the artwork is by Janinia, I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right, Medeiros. Probably said that completely wrong, so I'll hold that in close and hopefully you might just be able to see that there. This is a really cool deck, and I'm feeling very cozy witch at the moment, myself. So I thought this was a cool one to work with. What we'll also do is at the end we will use my cheeky witches runes, and we will follow through with an overall rune which will represent 2025 as a collective. Now, be reminded, guys, that this is a collective reading, so this is what the energy is looking like for a whole. If you want something more personal or more in depth, then obviously collective readings and free readings can never take away a personalized, bespoke reading. So if you're wanting something obviously personalized and bespoke, it's best to get a private message or a private reading from me directly, and then we can look in exactly as to what's going on with you and everything else. But this will hopefully give a bit of scope on a collective energy, what we can look forward to, what we can be prepared for, things we just may want to watch out and be aware of that could be coming in around us. So let's do it, and hopefully these will make sense. These are the cards. I've already sort of channeled them and pulled them ready, as there's quite a few of them, being that it's 12, obviously, for 2025. So let's have a little look and let's see where the energies are taking us. If you see something that you don't like, or you think, oh my God, I really don't want to have to go through that again, or, whatever, like I say, it's not set in stone. It's just showing me what might be around on that collective sort of energy sort of level at the moment. So let's do this. So as we're going into January's card, then we're going into the Five of Cups, and it just says here at the bottom, spilled tea isn't the end of the world. So when the Five of Cups shows, it's often a time when some of us are feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Some of us might be going through things that are a little bit sort of exhausting or a little bit aggressive, or they could be a little bit sad, and they could be causing a bit of emotional turbulence or vulnerability. So sometimes things happen, sometimes life happens, and we get so caught up in what's going on, what's happening around that situation, that we sort of lose sight of the bigger picture. So even though we've got in this card this witch that's kind of focusing on these sort of cups that have spilled over, there's still two cups there which are full of tea. They're actually full up. So there's abundances, there's great things, there's just great magic to still be had, and there's big window that she's kind of turned her back on. We've almost got, like, you can see this is like the sun sort of setting or the sun rising, but it's a window of opportunity. So what's really important with this card is, even if you feel overwhelmed with something, if you feel like something is taking over your life and you just can't see past that, it could be quite aggressive, it could be quite overwhelming. It might feel like at times it gets the better of you, but it's in those moments, in January particularly, that you're being encouraged to look at the bigger picture, try to look outside of the box. And often when we do that, when we sort of look outside of the box, we sort of see that things are usually nowhere near as bad as we first thought them to be. It's just where we're getting consumed in that tunnel vision, that particular issue or problem or situation or circumstance that we're up against feels so loud, so intrusive. It sometimes has the risk and the danger of overlooking everything else that's happening around us. But there's still some amazing things available. There's this window of opportunity. There's some great adventures that can still be designed, that can be created, that can be had. So if in January you feel a little bit overwhelmed or you feel a little bit deflated, look at where that's really coming from and try not to feed into that lesser energy. Try not to sort of sacrifice your soul to an experience or a situation, because actually there's still life to live. And as it says on the bottom, spilled tea isn't the end of the world, you know? So be cautious with January, because some people might feel a little bit vulnerable. I don't think it's going to be an immediate fix of energy. I think some people are going to be struggling a little bit at times to find their bearings, but give yourself permission to go gentle, to go slow, but to slowly move out of this tunnel vision of maybe what you're up against or going through. Now then, as we're moving into February's card, we're going into the Four of Wands. And Four of Wands just sort of says here on the bottom, family is whoever makes you feel the most safe and comfortable being you. And at the top there it says, a place to hang your witch's hat. Now, Four of Wands primarily is usually about happy house and home, and the people that reside within the home feeling good, feeling sort of safe, feeling connected, feeling fabulous, feeling lovely. So I think that February time, there's a real importance to pick and choose connections, celebrate those people that really matter, that really enrich your heart, whether they are blood family members, whether they are a spiritual tribe of people, family and friends. It could be that you've got animals and kids and extended people that are just massively important within your world, within your life. And it's making time for those people. It's making time to connect with those people that get you, that understand you, for you, your tribe, whoever's in your tribe, whatever your tribe is. Or maybe a new tribe of people are being kind of formed and sort of born at the moment. The other aspect with the Four of Wands, it often does come in a lot around sort of house and home. So maybe some of you are making changes or adjustments, or just making your home feel homely. Oh, here we go. Sometimes my portal does this, it will zoom in, particularly when my guide stands behind me. I swear that it picks my guide up. So yeah, we're getting a bit of a zooming in at the moment. But yeah, so sometimes it's changes with house and home. So it could be some of you in February are maybe looking at a new property, or are maybe wanting to make changes within an existing property of where you live at the moment. But whatever it is, like it says at the top, a place to hang your witch's hat, a place where you can feel safe, a place where you can feel secure, and the people that you choose to invite into your sacred space are going to be right for you. So February, it's almost like really important to make sure the physical foundations of where you live are secured and in place for you, and then it spills into the people around you, the people that you choose to have in your life. Make sure they're the right people, make sure that they're the people that enrich your heart and just add value to your world. Now then, as we're moving into March time, we are going into the energies of the Six of Wands. And it just sort of says here, you're kind of a big deal, so start acting like it. Six of Wands is a time to really be fabulous. It's a time to really put your best foot forward. It's a time for personal victories, celebrations, successes, and recognition of self. And often what happens when we give ourselves the best, we start to receive the best from the outside world. We start to manifest and attract that back in from external places. Other people start to see us in that sort of same vibration that we choose to see ourselves in. So Six of Wands, it is about sort of victory, success. You may have gone through quite a lot of personal or heavy battlefields of energy. Maybe there's been a lot of work on you being you, and maybe at times you've struggled to sort of accept or identify or like or love the person that you are. But March is all about that self-value, that self-respect, really being in that alignment of truth, really being in that alignment of personal power, and actually knowing that you are a great person, you are good enough, you are real enough and true enough to be yourself. And yourself is the best gift you can give to the world, because there's only one of you and you have unique ability, and that's what makes you special. That's also what makes you fabulous. So don't feel that you have to compare yourself to what other people are doing. Be proud that you're different. Be proud that you're you. Whatever your quirks, your kind of ways are, those things make up the magic of your vessel, your essence, your energy. Your own spirit is your best gift to the world. And I just feel March is that real realization of that. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be fabulous. And you're going to really just like and love who you are, and you're going to see the world kind of change for the better. It's going to respond accordingly because you're feeling like that within. So it's quite an exciting time, March, I feel, as a collective. Now, as we're sort of moving forward, we're moving into our April time. April takes us into the space of the Six of Cups. And Six of Cups here just says at the bottom, give yourself the compassion you were never given. So often when the Six of Cups card shows, this is all about giving and receiving, making sure we're giving enough energy to the right types of place, to the right types of people, to the right types of experiences. It's making sure that we're not leaving ourselves too exposed or too vulnerable. So, like it says at the bottom, give yourself the compassion you were never given. Be gentle on yourself, be kind on yourself. It might be through April that you get invited to certain things, and maybe you might say no. And you may have never done that before. You know, you may have always been somebody that is the yes person and the one that wants to sort of serve everybody else. But actually, this is a really important time to put yourself first, to put yourself forward. So, do the things, be part of the things that enrich your life, that enrich your heart, because it's cup energy. Emotions are going to really be sort of, fine tuned in April. We're going to be really feeling that energy. But it's really important with the Six of Cups to sort of, make sure your world starts from you to you. You're giving yourself the best experiences first, and then it can ripple out to other people in the right energies. But if you're somebody that, as a rule, gives and gives and gives and gives and gives, and then you sort of go into a burnout phase. We're trying to avoid that. We're trying to stop that. We're trying to break that pattern down a little bit with the Six of Cups. And it could be that you sort of really recognize that that has happened in the past and that has been that way in the past. But moving forward, you're going to actually invest in yourself a little bit more. And probably because with that March card of feeling a bit more empowered and a bit more like you probably will feel like you've got the emotional strength to actually invest a bit more into you because you're in alignment with yourself in March. So I feel March almost extends into the energies of April time, really. Now, go a little bit cautious, go a little bit careful as we're moving into May. May takes us into what I always consider to be a little bit of a warning card. And we're moving into the Seven of Wands. Now, when the Seven of Wands sort of shows, it just says at the bottom here, witches should hold other witches accountable. Now, Seven of Wands can sometimes be quite a confrontational card. It can sometimes be seen as a card of Chinese whispers. So often it could be that there's some gossip, some hearsay, could be some things are being taken out of context. Maybe you have sort of seen somebody do something and maybe there's been a little bit of blame going on rather than finding out all the facts or the details. So just go a little bit careful with May, have your wits about you. But I think it's also important to really live by your own truth. And if you have dropped the ball, if you have done something, own it. Like it says, be accountable for your actions. So if you know that something has happened and you haven't acted in the best light, or you have maybe unintentionally dropped the ball, or just maybe done something that has backfired a little bit, rather than prolonging that, own it for what it is. And if you have to apologize, if you have to do anything there, so obviously have that, do that, be part of that, to avoid this kind of witch hunt that could potentially happen. The other thing, though, this card shows quite a lot when people become a little bit envious or a little bit jealous. And as I look at the tarot as a collective, because those other 2 months are all about empowerment, it could just be because some of you guys are really sort of stepping into your truth and really stepping into your power. It might well be that it causes a little bit of people around you to become a bit jealous, a bit envious, because often when people can't access the same vibration themselves, if they can't vibrate on that level or that frequency, the next thing that they do is they try to attack it, they try to sabotage it. So it could be that there's some envious energy, some jealous lines that may be going on around you with this time period of May. So just be careful, just be kind of cautious here with this, and yeah, just remember your truth. I think it's a really important time to stay in your line of truth, to stay empowered. And if you know that there's stuff happening around you that is garbage or is rubbish, don't accept it, don't buy into it as your truth. You know your truth in your heart, even if it means you have to walk alone for a little while. So just be aware of that. Now, as we're sort of moving forward, we're moving into our June time, and June takes us into the Seven of Cups. And Seven of Cups comes in, and it just says at the bottom here for June, not every great option you're given will be a great option for you. So this is like picking and choosing carefully. Seven of Cups often comes in when people are feeling quite overwhelmed, quite confused. I often see this card as like spinning plates. So it's almost like, we're spinning a lot of stuff, we're trying to be part of a lot of stuff, and sometimes that in itself can just be a little bit exhausting. That can just be a little bit overwhelming. So like when it sort of says here, I mean, we've almost got this kind of witch here, and she's got all these kind of cups, and she's sort of picking and choosing what she wants to sort of be part of. And it might just be that she can't be part of everything. So it could be with June time, maybe you're being too available, or you're being sort of pulled into that pattern of trying to give for everything for everyone. Sometimes it's about being a bit confused as well in our thoughts, and it's prioritizing. So, like it says at the bottom here, not every great opinion, sorry, yeah, no, I can't speak. Sorry, my dyslexia is tripping me up a little bit there. Not every great option you're given will be a great option for you. So I think it's important to, again, sort of do what resonates for yourself as opposed to what other people would like you or perceive you to be doing. But if you are spinning plates, and if you know that you're juggling too much stuff, prioritize. Keep the stuff that matters, keep the stuff that add value, but the stuff that actually is exhausting you or burdening you, let it go. Move it to one side. Come back to it at a later point in time, perhaps, but don't sort of weigh yourself down with kind of crap, because otherwise you're taking something that could be really beautiful and really good, and you're making it hard, you're making it heavy, you're making it trickier than it needs to be. Now, I think whatever this is going to be relatively short-lived, because as we're moving forward into July time, we're going into a little bit of a clarification card, and we're moving into the Judgment card. Now, it just says here on the bottom, all the signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Judgment, I often see, is about letting go of the falsehoods that we restrict ourselves with. So this is actually a really mega important time to celebrate yourself, to be that in that alignment with yourself, to actually know and trust the choices, the actions, the decisions that you're making are the right ones for you. It's a time to sort of really live by your own sort of vibration or rhythm of life. So, it might be that you have a particular song that really reminds you of you, and it could be a good time to sort of play that as a theme tune or an anthem to your life, or you're sort of part of this story as we're moving into this sort of piece of your journey. But what I feel quite strongly with this card, where it says all the signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, it is exactly about that. It's just this recognition card of almost like you are where you need to be, and you can celebrate, you can really be comfortable in your place of truth, in your decisions and your choices. Other people may not like what you're doing, they may not always understand what you're doing, but you know what you're doing, you know why you're doing it, and you don't have to judge yourself. You don't have to critique or be harsh to yourself. You can just be like, actually, no, I understand the baseline of why this is being done, whatever it might be, and I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with that. So it's about being at peace with yourself as well. So realization, I think, for this July time, definitely. Now, as we're moving into August time, we are going into the energy of the Queen of Pentacles. And it just says here, there's no need to sacrifice, you can have it all. And there's a door, there's an opportunity here, and it says there at the top, the witch is in. Now, Queen of Pentacles primarily often seen as like a mother figure, wanting to nurture, wanting to really give permission, acceptance for abundance, for prosperity, to nurture, to grow, to flourish. So it comes in a lot when we're really investing in ourselves. Could be that some of you around August time are making some changes. It could be around work or business, or just how to make money and finances sort of serve and flourish and work a little bit better for you. It's a time of abundance, and I kind of feel like with the Queen of Pentacles, it's abundances in all ways. So it's having beautiful experiences, beautiful adventures, beautiful memories being made, as well as physical revenue. So it could be that you're having some great revenue physically coming in through sort of work or business ideas or potential career choices or opportunities, and it could be leading to some beautiful experiences as well. So it's having the best of both worlds, and it's really enjoying that and knowing that you've worked hard. You can sort of sit on your throne, you can place the crown upon your head, you can be fabulous and feel very secure in what you're creating. Oh, obviously my spirit guide agrees with me with this because the portal is just zooming in. Okay. So, I'm feeling exhausted with this. So as we're moving into September time then, September takes us into the Knight of Pentacles. So Knight of Pentacles, it just says here, slowly but surely, you're going places. Now, knights, when they come in, they always want to protect energy. So the knight is ready to defend something in honor, in victory, to the bitter end, essentially. They're very loyal to the cause. And it's almost like whatever the queen is creating there, her knight is kind of putting that safety, that protection, that security in place to keep this sort of going for you long term. So I don't see anything bad or broken here. I think that this is a realization card with September time of the choices, the actions, the inputs, whatever you're dedicating your time, your energy, your efforts to, it matters. You know, it might not be something that you see immediate success or immediate results with. There could be some work, there could be a little bit of energy needed, required, but it's going to be worth the journey. Slowly but surely you're going places, you know, and you will start to see those rewards coming in. And this knight is standing with you to sort of safely secure and protect all of that abundance, all of that prosperity from the financial side of what the pentacle relates, but again also just the experiences, the energy in general that you're part of, protecting that for you. Now, as we're moving into October time, we're going into the energies of the High Priestess. And it just says at the bottom here, when in doubt, your first gut feeling can always be trusted. The High Priestess card is often about being very connected to our intention, our psychic intuition, definitely a spiritual energy line that's a little bit more powerful or a bit more high vibe than, you know, maybe what the average person sort of would tap into. It's a really important time to trust your own energy lines. It's a really important time to trust yourself, because energy, as a rule, doesn't really lie. It doesn't have a need or a reason to. People lie, people let us down, people have agenda. Energy, when it's in its purest form, kind of doesn't. So if you're getting gut feelings, if that psychic antennae is kicking in a certain way, good or bad, listen to that, pay attention, because it's trying to guide, it's trying to prepare you for something that might be happening. The other thing with the High Priestess, it could be that some of you are tapping into a bit of a higher sort of vibration of your own power. So it often comes in when people are having a little bit of a spiritual awakening or a bit of a spiritual download. If you're somebody that's already quite spiritually gifted, it could be that your giftings are perhaps strengthening and maybe you're noticing things are improving or evolving quite fast for you. So it comes in a lot with mediumship. The High Priestess is the most spiritually evolved card within the tarot deck. So often the High Priestess energy can be connected, you know, to spirit, to other worlds, dimensions and places, but can also be very grounded. I often say it's being able to sort of be in two worlds at the same time, so they can sort of be part of this physical life, but they can also be aware of the signs, the energies that are coming in from a higher place. It could be that some of you are tapping into a bit of a healing journey, a bit of a witchcraft journey, maybe psychic development could be coming in for some of you. Some of you might just be getting really weird dreams and deja vus and just intuition being a lot more heightened. So pay attention, because the signs will be guiding you forward in the ways that they're meant to be. Now, as we're moving into the November time, we're going into Five of Wands. And it just says at the bottom here, a good coven lets every witch have a say. Now, Five of Wands sometimes is about confrontation or slight bickering or overpowerment. And I think it's really important that you don't have to get caught up in drama. You don't have to get caught up in sort of, you know, child play, school games and all of this stuff. Now, I find it interesting with November time, because often that can be when people are talking about early stages of Christmas time, families and friends getting together. And for some people, that can be really fun, that can be really exciting. It's not always good for people, though. So sometimes it can be a little bit exhausting and a little bit overwhelming when we have to sort of meet up with family that we don't really want to be seeing and everything else. So it could be that November time just pulls you into a space of caution where some people around you are maybe quite loud, maybe they're not really your people, but circumstances or situations are putting you together. So we could have some of that going on. But again, I just think it's about respect. You know, how you want to be treated, make sure you're giving that to other people around you, because respect is something that we should really be earning. It's not always something that's completely given. How we choose to behave, reflects if people respect us or not. So be good. Even if you're around people that are complete arseholes and complete dicks, be good yourself, do the right thing. Don't sort of just get pulled into the drama or the dramatics or the child play. Be better than that, I suppose, is really what this card is saying. So there could be a bit of cautious energy for November time there. And finally, as we're moving into our December time, we're going into the card of strength. And it just says here, it takes great strength to be soft. Now, I always see the strength card as being a bit of a survivor, being able to overcome hurdles and challenges and things that maybe have really tested us. So I think we can look at this card in a few ways. December for some of you might just be that kind of realization of the year, and it might be that kind of winding down of the year and looking back over your shoulder, thinking, wow, it's been an exciting year, it's been a really cool year in parts, but there's been some hurdles, there's been some things I've had to go through, some challenges, and maybe it's just that realization of looking over your shoulder and remembering how strong you are, because sometimes it's not till we're put through something that we become aware or we realize that we had this strength that maybe we didn't even know existed before. So maybe some of you are going to have that realization with December time of how strong you actually are. It could be that maybe there's going to be some stuff that happens in December where you're going to have to call upon an inner strength that maybe you didn't sort of fully feel like you had. And if that's the case, call into it, know that you are stronger. And remember that spirit have the backing and they have that unconditional love for you as well. So even if you're not always feeling very strong, there is that kind of higher power that we can call upon and we can bring in from spirit to help us and to give us that strength if we feel like we're sometimes wavering. So that is the 12-month cycle. I hope it makes sense for you guys. What we'll do, we'll finish off with one of my cheeky little witches runes, just to see what the collective message is as an overall theme for 2025. So I'm just channeling these runes. You can see I'm giving them a good old little look around, channeling for the highest of good. And let's just see what we need to know about. Okay, interesting. So the rune that's come up here is Crossroads. I don't know if you can see that too well. Okay, so when Crossroads shows, this is sometimes a bit of like a game of tug of war. Sometimes we can be feeling pulled in directions. There could be quite a few things as options that are available, but maybe not every sort of road is going to lead to some sort of positive path for us. It's about being a bit selective, and it's about pausing and listening to self. So again, like some of the cards have actually said over this kind of year, don't be too accessible, don't be too available. Put yourself first, put yourself forward a bit more. That's kind of being backed with this rune a little bit. Rather than just stabbing in the dark and hoping for the better, it's actually sort of taking that time out to be still, to listen, to meditate, to sort of listen to that higher self, to your own spirit, your own soul. And where does your heart feel guided to? Because these different roads could take you into some amazing spaces and places. But what are you feeling connected with? What are you feeling aligned with? What do you actually want to be doing? And I kind of feel like 2025 is that for a lot of people. I think it's going to be this realization of actually people accessing their higher purpose, their higher calling, not just sort of getting by, not just sort of kind of winging it. What are you actually here to do? Why has your soul reascended at this point in time? And what's the message? What's the guidance? What's coming in for you? And I think it's about giving yourself permission to have the experience, whatever the experience may be, and really enjoy it for what it is. So not feeling confused, not feeling like we're having to just kind of, hope for the best. It's a bit more powerful than that. It's a bit more enrichment than that, really. So it's going to be an exciting time. I think it's going to challenge us a little bit in parts, but it's also going to be really empowering. So I hope you can make sense of this. I'm going to leave the energies with you. Have an amazing 2025. Look after yourselves. I'm really excited to work with some of you lovelies over the coming months. And obviously, I've got a new tour that's going to be kicking in from March, my Spirit Magic 2025 tour. Going to be revisiting some beautiful places that I enjoy demoing to, but there are also a lot of new spaces and locations as well. So if you want to sort of be part of the tour, pop over to my website and you can see all the listed dates currently. There will be some more dates coming. So if you can't see a location that you can physically get to at the moment, bear with, there may be something else available as the kind of months go on. But have a beautiful 2025. Look after yourselves, enjoy it, make some great memories, have some fun, and just be you, because that's your greatest gift to the world. So I'm going to leave it with you, and I will see some of you lovelies very soon. Take care, love and blessings. Bye for now.